Now, more Skip Happens. Please return Bubbles, your flight attendant, to her fully upright and locked position. Oh, wait a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat and buckle up. Seat backs and tray tables in their full upright position. It's another episode of Skip Happens. Your weekly view from 30,000 feet. From the first music lesson to the first paid gig to signing the deal, it's the journey that is the life of an artist. Now, here's your captain and co-captain, a.k.a. your hosts, Skip Clark and Deb Lamphere.
Hello, everybody, and I was going to say good morning. Jesus, I didn't know.
It is morning on the other side of the world, so.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Well, it is. Well, here we go. So it's Skip Clark. Here we are. This is Skip Happens. Of course, as the big guy said, Deb is right up there, and she's with us here tonight. She's back from her trip to Long Island, and we have another great podcast for you. And we love talking to the new artists. We like digging into, what they're really all about and their struggles and the good things and everything that's going on as they try to live their dream and their passion. Very dedicated to what they do. I want you all to say hi to my new friend. He's right over there, Josh Kinney. Josh, how are you?
Hey guys, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Where are you?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee, as we speak right now.
Are you like right in the heart of downtown, or are you in the outskirts?
I'm kind of southeast from Nashville. I'm like 15 minutes from downtown. But I recently just moved from Birmingham, Alabama. That's kind of where I grew up, where I lived for 21 years, and I got a job opportunity up here in Nashville, so I took it right away because it's in the music scene. I was like, it's just the perfect match. So I went ahead and moved everything, got everything moved in, started Thursday, finished Saturday, and I literally
that recent.
Yeah, like it's the biggest change of my life so far. So I'm getting adjusted. Honestly, the schedule I have is like basically the same. So the scheduling isn't really the change. It's just kind of like the location, figuring out new things, meeting new people, that kind of thing.
Definitely. That's what it's about. You are in where you need to be. You know what I mean? You had this opportunity. Now, your job, that's not music, but you had an opportunity to go to Nashville, work a job, and go after what you want to do.
Yeah, a lot of people will just move up to Nashville and bus tables and that kind of thing. And it's just that way it just doesn't. I never wanted to move to Nashville and do that. So I was just going to stay in Birmingham, but I got that job opportunity. It's good, promotion, raise, and everything. So I was like, you know what, God's calling me, so I'm going. I'm going. So I took
it. And he just did that like in the last week or so, right after the holiday.
Yeah, I mean, right after Christmas is like when we said, all right, let's go. I had it planned for a few like months, I was going to move up and stuff. And I was talking to supervisors and stuff, and we were working it out. And we worked it out perfectly. After Christmas, I was going to move up. And then that's when the lease needed to be signed anyway. So it all worked. The doors opened at the right time. All of them did. So I'm here. I never really thought I would move here, to be honest with you.
Really?
Because I lived 2.5 hours away. It wasn't that out of the way. It was just kind of like a good little day trip type thing. But I made the move. I always told myself I wouldn't move here, but I'm literally here now. So
crazy. You're from a big family, correct?
I'm from a family of 11. So we have.
I thought so.
Yeah. Growing up in a big family like that, it's always busy and it's always just people running around. There's always somebody to talk to. But since I moved out, there ain't nobody to talk to except for my coworkers. Yeah. I do have some buddies up here that I can talk to and stuff, but I don't really know them that close. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I did come from a family of 11 and grew up in one house, and it was crazy. There's actually 6 biological kids, including me. And then a little bit later on, my mom felt called to foster and adopt 3 little boys that we have now. And they're all they all have the same parents, or the same mom, I should say.
Yeah.
So we have them 3. They have the same like mom, so they're all actual brothers.
Awesome.
But now they're just kind of like in our family. We've had them since birth, so we feel like there are kids no matter what. Like
how old are they now?
Oh goodness. I think one of them is almost 9, Like 9, 8, and 5, I believe.
Oh, wow.
I
A
probably
lot of
messed that up.
activity going on over there.
Oh no. I think he's 10 now. So 10,
Okay.
10, 8, and 5.
Wow.
They're all grown up though.
Do
We fostered for like 13 years almost. So
Mm.
do you think they're going, we miss Josh?
yeah, they probably are. I was always around the house and stuff, and I would
Yeah.
go take them on 4-wheeler rides. And I mean, I have a show in Birmingham, the 13th this month. So that's
Oh, wow.
that's like next Friday. So
Yeah, a week from Friday.
I'll get to see everybody again. So it ain't that big of a deal. I ain't too far away.
No, that's cool. You're far enough, but still close enough. If it's only an hour or 2.5 hours or 3 hours, that's not bad at all. But you probably enjoy some of the quiet time now. You've got the place to yourself. You're like, wow, this is. But then again, there's got to be those moments where you miss all that activity that would be going on around you because of the fam. Yeah.
I do a little bit, but now that I have so much time to just like work on my set list, work on music. There's a lot of positives, but then it's just kind of like there's not that noise you're always used to hearing. Kids screaming, literally just chaos. Yep. But no, ever since I work 10 hours a day, so it's kind of like I'm always busy doing something. So I don't let myself just sit and start thinking or anything like that. I'm usually just working on something.
Yeah. Let's talk about your music. Let's talk about what's going on with you. Let's do it.
Right.
How long have you been into music? All your life? I mean, when did you actually start?
When I think I started around like 14-ish. That's kind of when I had the desire to pick up a guitar. And I never, before 14-ish, it was 14 or 15, and I still never know to this day. But I never really had an interest in music at all. And I don't remember ever singing anything before I was 14. I don't know why I like music so much and wanted to do it. But before 14, never sang. So about 14 years old is when I picked up a guitar and just started singing. And basically from then on, I just learned 4 chords. Once I learned 4 chords, I was like, okay, I guess let's try to write a song now. So I wrote a song.
Okay, quick question though. When you just say you picked up a guitar, was there one laying around the house, or did you have a friend that had a guitar? Like, what brought you to a guitar?
That's a good question. But it was my brother-in-law. He had one. It was never sitting around our house. He actually brought one over one day. And I did have an interest to learn guitar. I just didn't know how. But a good thing there was YouTube at the time. So I was able to learn from YouTube and stuff. So yeah, my brother-in-law brought the guitar over and he just left it. And good thing he did, because now it's like my biggest passion in life is music. So yeah, I learned 4 chords right away as fast as I could. It was like 2 months in. And once I learned them 4 chords, I wrote my first song. And I hope nobody ever hears it because it was bad.
Why does every artist say that? Seriously, we have talked to so many different artists, and I'll go, do you remember the very first song you ever did? Yeah, I remember it, but I don't want to talk about it. So it's like, really?
It's like, it's the very first song. They're always, I bet if you ask any artist of their first song, it is so cliche and it's so cheesy. And it's just, mine doesn't. So I'll give you a little inside. Mine was about a couple. Man, it just didn't make sense. Like, it was just like they met up at a hotel parking lot, and that was their spot they went and hung out at. And it was called Hotel Parking Lot. Me and my mom wrote that song. It was just it's so cringy, man. I can't. That's all I can say. It's just
so cringy. How old were you when you did that, Josh?
15.
15.
Okay. All right. And you sat with mom when you wrote that song?
Me and my mom sat down and wrote that whenever I only knew like 3 or 4 chords, and I was just like, let's do it. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that's what blows my mind, because here you are, a young man, just picking up this guitar to try it out for a little bit. Now, not knowing a thing about music, not knowing a thing about reading music, not knowing a thing about singing. And fast forward, you have all these songs out and you sound phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, how does that happen?
There was just a burning desire. So let me back a little bit. my favorite band growing up was Florida Georgia Line, and I know a lot of people won't say that. People won't admit that, but I'm proud to admit that they were my favorite band growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And all I wanted to do was be like them. I would just be in my bedroom singing their like songs, acting like I was on stage and stuff like that. And I just wanted to be like them. I wanted to be singing in front of a whole amphitheater or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I made that. I wanted to learn the guitar, and that's kind of where it started for me. And I have a kind of a style of Florida Georgia Line. If you kind of listen to all my lyrics and songs,
Yep.
it has.
There's
that
nothing wrong with that, Josh. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, and no reason to be like, all right, just because whatever. Florida Georgia Line is and was awesome. I mean, Brian and Tyler, they just had it going. They had a slow start. Once they took off, they went up to charts. How many hits back to back to back? They went up to charts. They were selling out arenas. They were doing it. So, I mean, to be a big fan of Florida Georgia Line, nothing wrong with that. And I had the opportunity just the other day to talk to Tyler Hubbard on a podcast, and the nicest and the coolest guy around. So, just saying.
I haven't got to meet Tyler yet, and I really want to. And honestly, I want to write with anybody in Nashville, and he's one of them on the list. But I got to meet Brian, and such a down to earth guy. And I went to one of his shows because he's touring now with his own little thing he's got going on.
Yep.
Great show, great guy, and I don't know. Whenever he walked out for the first time, I was like, dude, like, I've been wanting to meet you. Like, you're the reason I'm doing what I'm doing. Like, I know it sounds weird, but like, it was just, it was insane. Whenever he walked out, I was like, holy crap, you're freaking real. But it's just crazy when you meet somebody like that you've been looking up to your whole life. So
it's inspiration for you and motivation,
it's funny. It's funny to hear you say I grew up listening to Florida Georgia Line. Dude, they were only around just a couple of years ago, a few years ago. So I'm just saying, and all that great music. Like, even Tyler's out doing his own thing now. They're both, doing their solo projects. So, and they're both doing really well. So
I know. And you go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was about to go down a rabbit hole. You don't want me to.
Hey, you can down a rabbit hole if you want. We'll come right after you. Yeah. All right. Okay. I was going to ask you about your song "Tangled Up." Deb and I were listening to that before we went on, and I'm like, why isn't this heard on the radio? Really? It's got this. That's what you need, and that's what you got to get. And that song has the possibilities of being played on the radio.
Yeah, and, man, I really appreciate that. That song, that was one of them songs that I sat down in my studio by myself, and I just plucked those 3 chords, and I was like, oh man, there's something there. That's, I mean, it was just a normal melody of the guitar chords and everything. People have done it a million times, but I went to the writing session, just me in my room basically, and I wanted to make something that just felt good, that was just fun, nothing stressful. And I literally wrote that song in less than an hour because I was kind of in a writing block situation for like weeks at that point. And I wrote this about 3 years ago. And I was like, man, I just got to write something. I'm tired of just stressing over this. This is supposed to be fun. So basically I went to that writing session and literally just wrote something just super simple, but fun, and people that could relate to it and just imagine the song and just have a good time listening to it. And it's super catchy at the same time.
Wow. Just amazing. And that's your latest, is Tangled Up. But I was reading some of your bio, Never Want to Leave. I found Barefoot Green Grass. You put out, was it an EP or an album with all those, Barefoot, Green Grass, I think it was called, correct? So that was out there, and Southwind and Ocean. So, you've been doing this for a little bit. You've got some stuff under your belt now, which is really good. Really good.
Yeah. I think besides Tangled Up, our last one was Never Want to Leave. And I've never had the response on a song ever like I did for Never Want to Leave. I released it, and instantly the day that I released it, I had so many DMs and texts.
Nice.
Saying, dude, this is your best song you've ever written and best sounding song you've ever done. And I think the reason why is because it's super relatable, because it's just kind of the reminiscent of where you came from. And I think it's kind of ironic. My mom was saying that I released that song like around the same time I left where I'm from. But I now moved to Nashville. But hey, that's where you got to be in country music.
Well, yes, I would agree with you. And it sounds like you're really close with your mom.
Yeah, my mom, she's like my rock, basically. She's my everything. Like we'll talk about anything. We'll talk about anything. We'll talk about nothing for 2.5 hours.
That's awesome.
I do that every day for about 5 hours.
It's different when it's with your mom, though.
Yeah.
I mean, she was a co-writer on one of my songs, so
really?
she's basically everything.
Yeah. Does she have any musical background?
So she sang in church, but that's about it. I don't think.
Yeah, but so many country artists and family members of country artists. I mean, they sing in the church choir. They're they come from that neck of the woods where that plays a big part in their lives. So
yeah, and I'm surprised I didn't even want to get into music. Now, I did play in the band when I was in middle school. My mom signed me up for it, but I didn't do anything with like notes or anything. I played percussion, so I was just playing the drums.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything, and like I didn't play a saxophone to learn like the notes and stuff. I didn't do any of that. So if anything, I wanted to be a drummer when I was little. But
me too, but my dad wouldn't let me.
Yeah, it was just a little too loud.
A little too loud in the house. You get the drum kit for Christmas and you regret that. So
yeah.
How many instruments do you play, Josh?
So I like to say I play drums.
Okay.
I think I sound good at drums.
You probably do. Yeah.
But I don't have a drum set anymore. When I had the drum set, my little brother took a wrench to it and busted some things up. So I don't it was a little too expensive just to buy a new drum set financially. So we just put it away. And then I actually got a guitar the next Christmas. And that's the one I started writing my first songs on. And my little brothers broke that one as well. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, like I said, it's a little chaotic in that house.
9 siblings. That's what happens.
I know. I laid it up against the wall and they ran into it and it snapped the neck in half. And guess what the warranty didn't fix? It didn't fix the cracking of the neck.
Oh man. Yeah. Well, now you're there. So keep them in a closet when they come to visit. Out of sight, out of mind.
On the walls now.
Oh, that looks cool. Those are the actual guitars you play?
Or that one. Let's see. Everything's backwards. That black one's my acoustic, and then the white one's my electric. I like to think I can play really good, but I'm not that good at electric. It's basically the same thing. Like guitars, like 6 strings, same thing. But electric, you got to shred to be really good at it. And I can't really shred, but I'm learning. It takes time.
Now I got to tell you this story that you and I have never met before. We're talking for the first time tonight, and we're getting to know each other. And all 3 of us are here. And so usually, what I do to lead up to the podcast, I'll jump online and just kind of do a little Google search, find out things about you. And we're a big baseball family here, huge into baseball. Well,
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, Josh Kinney, and I'm going. Yeah. This is Josh Kinney, 32 years old. He played for the Cardinals. He played for the Mariners. And now he's singing. This is crazy. Oh my God. So I go running upstairs to tell my son, he's special needs, but he's so into baseball. I go, Zach, guess who's going to be on my podcast tonight? I go, Josh Kinney. I go, he played for the Cardinals. He played for the Mariners. He's not playing anymore, I don't think. But anyways, it's like, wow, Dad, that's cool. I go, yeah, I'll let you know when I'm on. So I come back downstairs and I said, okay, I start doing writing a few notes, and I scroll down a little bit more and I go, oh, it's not the same Josh Kinney. But I'm sure it's just as exciting to talk to you as an artist. But it was just like, I'm pulling out my baseball. And I got my bats over here. Seriously, because Deb will tell you that, the half of my pod zone here is baseball. That's just crazy. So it's kind of a funny story.
I've looked up my name before, and my name, it used to never be on there, and it's slowly starting to creep up a little bit. But old Josh Kinney, the baseball player, is still there. I mean, I played baseball my whole life.
Yeah.
So, seriously. I could fit that a little bit. But, yeah.
Well, you could be the Josh Kinney Jr. of baseball. There you go.
There it is.
So do you have a college degree? Were you playing ball in college or high school? Or?
So I literally played from the time I was in like T-ball all the way up to high school. But whenever I left high school, I signed with the small label that I'm with now.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I'm doing it now, and I'm doing it like I'm putting everything into it. So that's what I did. I put everything into music, and like everybody else was signing like
Totally. Yep.
to colleges and stuff for sports. I had my little booth, and I signed to a label. So,
There you go.
How did you meet your label?
Let's see. There's a lot of moving parts to it, but to keep the long story condensed, I released Ocean, the first original Ocean that I wrote, and then a guy in Birmingham heard it. It actually went it didn't go viral, but a lot of people liked it, and it had like 5,000 streams, and I didn't even promote it. Like, I just kind of put it out, and I was just like, all right, I guess it's supposed to get big somehow. But I put that
not to interrupt you, but was that through TikTok or through regular streaming music services?
This was just through the streaming services
Okay.
only. Like, when I say
great.
I did no promotion, I didn't even like post about it. Like,
That's amazing.
I dropped the song, and I honestly, that was my favorite song I've ever done. Like, it sounded perfect. But I released it, and it had like around 5,000 streams on Spotify alone. And I got a call from a random number, and he was like, hey, this is so and so. I'm an A&R for a label, and I just kind of scout out. But the label that I'm with wants to have a call with you. I was like, okay. I was like, that was easy. Like, I'm signed now. I'm gonna get signed. I was like, there's no way this is how it happens. But a few days later, he wasn't lying. I thought he was bullcrapping straight up.
Right.
I was like, you're just kidding. But he wasn't. So a few days later, me and my family huddled around, and we were on this phone call. And sure enough, he wasn't lying. We were on the phone call together, and we talked for like an hour. We were just like, you're going to take money from us. And he was like, no, I'll pay for everything. Like, this is not how that – I'm not trying to take nothing from you. I already have all the money in the world. Like, I want to help these artists like you out. And he wasn't lying. And everything he said on the contract was true. Everything he said felt right for us to do it. So we signed the contract we signed it, and then we did a little fake signing at school just for everybody for pictures and stuff. And the city came out and gave me a plaque and everything. It was a cool day. And I really haven't done anything yet, but whenever they signed me, it was a big, like, we hit the ground running. We went through artist development because, like, they signed to nobody. They signed somebody that released one song, didn't post on Instagram. So, and that development process took forever, and it was stressful and it was hard. Like, I'm talking about, I went through vocal lessons, and that was like laying on I was trying to break out of my shell basically because I never sang in front of anybody at all. So it was a crazy time. And then obviously the pandemic hit, and that kind of put a hold on everything. And we were just stationary for a year and a half almost. So, but it gave me a lot of time to get better at like vocals and artist development, breaking out of that shell.
See, I think there's a lot of people that want to do what you're doing, and they don't realize that once you get in with a label, so to speak, you have to go through artist development. There's all these different things you need to do. You just don't sign a label and then start performing. I mean, it could be a couple of years even before you're out on the road. You could still be signed by the label, but you still need to go through all their, I guess you could call it training, so to speak. But
I mean, there's still a lot of grinding and work. Like, even now, like, there's so many connections I need to make. I need to really make connections because that's the name of the game. What I've learned is connections are the name of the game. So you just got to work, meet people, connect, and meet anybody you can, because a connection could be nothing, or a connection can mean everything. You never know.
Yes.
So,
yes. Now the name of the company, what is it? Birmingham? Did I read right on your bio? Is it Birmingham Entertainment?
That's it. Yeah, Birmingham Entertainment.
All right, but they're not in Nashville at all. They're in Los Angeles.
Yeah, the guy is from Birmingham, and he moved out to LA. He's doing real estate. He's doing really well, but his dream was wanting to get a Birmingham artist to blow up and make it big and kind of put Birmingham on the map. That's kind of what his goal was. So he's got a few people on the label, and I'm going to make it happen for him, and I want that for everybody on the Birmingham entertainment team.
Yeah. You get that team to push Tangled Up to radio, and I'll bet you're going to see some good return on your investment, so to speak. You know, you're very talented. So
when we put this song out, me and my manager were talking, and I wasn't really sure about the song. I wasn't really sure if we should put it out. In a way, I'm really, really picky, and then I kind of like blind myself. If a song's even good, I kind of blind it if I have certain thoughts about the song. But he said, no, listen to me. We're going to put this out and just watch. And I was like, okay. And we put it out, and we've had the best response we've ever had on a song, on social media wise. We've had the best song we've ever had so far. Besides putting mass production or money behind Hit Me Up, which went on Radio Disney and type things. Right. Without all that, this song is doing the best we've ever had. So really excited about it, and I hope everybody loves it.
Are you getting that out? Are you setting Tangled Up to like Sirius radio and some of the, you know, I know you're on the socials and all those providers, digital providers, but you have like a lot of people listen to the highway. A lot of people listen to the different channels, country channels on Sirius, and, you know, like a highway find. And me, I'm a terrestrial radio guy, but I'm listening. You know, I have it in my truck. I'm listening to it, and I'm listening to the new artists come out, and it's so exciting to hear what they would call a highway find. And I love that. What they do is they'll take somebody like you and say it's a highway find, and they play it, and they talk about you, and then eventually you go in for an interview, and it just goes from there.
I haven't ever tried that. I don't know what to like figure that out, because I feel like this song, if people hear it, they'll definitely like it. So I gotta look into that for sure. So
yeah, definitely have your label look into that a little bit. And I know Deb's probably going to ask you about the socials. I can see that on her mind. Are you? She always does. Like, do you keep track of your numbers and all that on socials?
Yeah, I keep track of it on my Spotify, Apple Music, making sure everything's trending in the right direction, and making sure I'm doing what I need to do to kind of like elevate what I'm doing. So it's reaching more people. But yeah, I always hit the ground running on anything. I try to post at least once a day on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook to kind of keep those algorithms going and feeding it to new people. So I guess if nobody's following me on those, you can follow me at Josh Kinney Music. It's Josh Kinney Music on TikTok and Facebook, and then it's Josh Kinney Official on Instagram. So.
Very cool. And you're keeping track. Like I said, you keep track of all those numbers. Do you realize when you think about this and what social media has done for the industry right now? We get your Bailey Zimmermans, and you have, oh my God, Zach Bryan. You have all these new artists, new names that Shane Prophet, Nate Smith. I can go on and on. These new names that, you know, like mid 2022, you started hearing them, and now it's like they're getting played on the radio, and they're, you know, it's just snowballing. It's a whole new generation of artists in country music.
I feel like all those artists that you just mentioned, they came from like the 2020 era, like when everybody was locked down in their houses.
Yes.
And I feel like, sadly, some artists can still break out and get big on TikTok now, but I feel like if you didn't do it in 2020 and 2021, like, you're not going to get the same response no more, because everybody was just locked down. Right. And that's where they came from. They came from that 2020 era. They started and worked and grind. Like, Bailey Zimmerman only started this, like, was it like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah, it was only a couple of years, and now he's on his second, Rockin' a Hard Place is already flying up the charts, you know, follow up to Fall in Love. It's just killing it. I
know, and I'm so mad that I was just in an artist development stage at that point, and kind of overwhelmed at the point that I didn't really post anything. I did try to post some stuff, but I didn't post like I was supposed to.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. Don't let that, you know, I mean, you have to do it. and you need to stay on top of it. And I do agree with you in a sense that when we were all locked down, that was one of our avenues to check out music, or we couldn't go anywhere, do anything. So we'd jump on our phones or computers and see what's going on. Tick tack, talk. Well,
what the heck you doing over there?
That was my phone. That was a good catch.
I want to know how it even flipped up. Yeah, really. Question. So your current employer that you moved there for, they are obviously very aware that you're working the music industry.
Oh yeah, they love my new songs. Like they play it in the shop and stuff like that, and they're all for it. They support me. That they moved, like the company I work for wanted me to move to Nashville and do this. So, and I mean, they know you got to pay bills and stuff. So like work, that's just part of it. I mean, so but they pushed. They wanted me up here, and they're excited that I'm up here. And now they're jamming. They don't call me Josh. They call me Eric Church or Blake Shelton or Kenny Chesney. They don't. Yeah, they don't call me Josh.
That's
I love it. I love that. I love that.
So we'll be visiting you soon, singing at some writers round or some place off of Music Row somewhere. So.
That's the plan.
Yeah. So do you get down on Broadway at all? Do you perform in like in the Stage or any of those venues down there? And now Dirks has got his place. You got Kid Rock's place. You got Miranda Lambert's place. I mean, it's a big tourist area. I know that, but still, there's a lot of talent down there, and everybody looking for that big break. Everybody looking to get noticed.
Yeah, I've thought about playing down there, and I know it's super hard to get into that little circle because it's like a group of, I'm not exactly sure the number, but it's like a group of 50 or 75 artists that just kind of make their rounds and play every single day or week. So I got to get in that circle somehow. I don't know how, but I really want to get in that circle, not because like that's where I'm going to make it, honestly, because it just looks fun. Like that's just, and it pays a little bit. So, I mean, it'd be a good thing to get off work and just get ready and go down and play for 3.5 hours or whatever it is.
Well, it's great practice too, because you are going to need to be in front of people, and your audiences will grow, and you'll grow with them. So.
Yeah, and the good thing is, I mean, I have shows, like I have a show this weekend in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Nice.
The venue. Last time we played there, we had it sold out. So, and it's not necessarily a hard ticket sell; it's a soft ticket sell. But we had everybody in that place rocking, so that's what we're there for. So, and then the next week I have a show in Birmingham, Alabama, and then another show after that. So I am playing places. I'm just not playing on Broadway as of now, but I plan on trying to get in there.
Yeah. How often did you get to Nashville before you actually moved there?
I was up here quite a bit because I was working with like artists to write songs and working with a producer up here. And then we would record all our songs up here. We would just try to find the right producer. So a lot of the songs that I have out, they're all like a different producer. It's just because we're looking for a certain sound that I haven't found yet. You know, there's a sound I'm looking for, and I haven't found.
You'll get it. It'll come to you. All of a sudden, you're going to go. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I found a guy that me and him work together so well, and we're like vibing in the studio off each other. We have the same exact idea. I think I've found what I'm looking for in a producer. So it should be good. These next few songs that have coming out are my favorite songs that I've ever been a part of.
And what would you say is what's one of your shows like? Is it high energy? What is that all about?
Yeah, so I came from watching Florida Georgia Line.
Yeah, okay.
I would watch all their live videos, like all their live sets, and I would watch, like there would be an 1.5-hour video, and I watched the whole thing. And it was fire, sparks, smoke everywhere. So it naturally for me, whenever I built my set list and got my band, I was like, we're going high energy. Like we're going to keep it rocking. And we'll have a few slow songs in there for people to dance to and stuff. But for the most part, we like keeping high energy, rocking, a lot of electric guitars going on. And because I feel like that's more fun for the people having fun out there. You know, they're probably having them a drink. They want to just chill and have fun. And that's what I feel like. I feel like that really, it's just like more of a party atmosphere. And a lot of people like that sit down bluesy type feel. But if you're coming to my concert, you get a party for
No,
sure.
if I'm going out, I want loud rocking music. I'm just saying. Yeah, a ballad once in a while, I get it. But still, if I'm having a beer with my buddies and I just want to have a good time, have some fun,
Exactly.
I think I need to be at one of your shows.
Exactly.
What covers do you do?
Let's see. I do a lot of. I have some Brooks and Dunn covers, Alabama covers, just all the good, like you have to play type music.
Yeah.
Up in the upbeat type stuff. I have some newer stuff. Morgan Wallen is always requested, so I throw in like 3 or 4 of those. Some Riley Green.
I was going to bring up Riley Green because he's an Alabama boy.
Yeah. Actually, my first ever singing gig, I should say, was singing the national anthem at the BJCC in Birmingham, Alabama. That's like the big arena. Yeah. It's the big arena, and there's an event coming to Birmingham called the Bulls, Bands, and Barrels, and they needed somebody to sing the national anthem, and they asked me to, and I literally off releasing that song. By the way, that's why I sang that. I had so many just little opportunities like that from releasing a song.
See?
So, the headliner that night was Riley Green, and he just released "There Was This Girl." I think that was almost going #1, and they put me in the same dressing room as him, and I was younger. I was 18. He was obviously way older, so we didn't really connect as well. But I met him, took pictures with him.
It's cool.
Like
Yeah, absolutely.
But I got to chill in his dressing room. They drank a lot. They had a table just full of alcohol, and they were just knocking them back the whole entire night. But the openers were going on, they were just drinking, and then they went on. I don't know how they do that drunk, but
a lot of them do that, and good, bad, or indifferent. But a lot of them do that. I've been backstage at an awful lot of gigs. So has Deb, and you get into some of these dressing rooms, and there's a full bar set up. There's snacks, there's everything, and it's all there. Any type of whiskey you want, and it's not. Well, I should say it's usually the good whiskey. It's usually the good alcohol. It's just crazy.
I could not function like that at my regular job, knowing my head was in another spot. I don't know how these artists can get up there and run around stage and remember words to songs and play their instruments. I don't know how they do it.
I have to be 100% focused. Like before I get on stage, like obviously we do our pre-show like ritual. Like we have our things we do, but everybody gets on stage and then it's like kind of quiet before I get on and the intro starts. I'm back there like preparing myself. Like it's not. I'm super excited obviously to get up there. The crowd's really good most of the time, so it's just like I got to prepare. I don't want to forget nothing. I don't want these people to think I don't rehearse my own set list. So I'm back there preparing. I'm not drinking and stuff. So I don't know. It's a talent to me. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah. You're young. You're new. You're doing really well. You got Tangled Up, which, like I said, Deb and I have been listening to that, for a bit before we went on. Is there any artist, though, that you feel like, oh my God, you feel really intimidated by if you know they're at your show, or that maybe you're opening up for somebody? Is there any one artist that really makes you feel, like, oh my God?
Intimidated, like scared, or just
like holy crap, I know I got to do good. I know this guy's watching me. I know I know that's probably like that. It's that way with a lot of different people, but still, for me, just to be in a certain room with a certain artist, sometimes I get, oh my God, okay, just hold it together,
I think obviously firsthand doing the Riley Green one was pretty nerve wracking because in my head, in my 18-year-old head, I was like, I'm getting big or not. So it was that kind of thing. And I showed him my song Ocean. He was like, man, that's really good. Obviously, he probably didn't care. But it was
Don't
like
say that. I'm sure he did.
It was nerve wracking there. But honestly, if I had to open up for Morgan Wallen, my head's like, he's obviously the top right now. So I would probably be really nervous to do that.
The thing with Morgan Wallen, and here we go into 2023, he had one of his biggest years of his life in 2022. During the pandemic, he's got a whole closet full of songs that he can drop at any time. And this guy
Okay.
is going to be huge for 2023. You know,
Mhm.
hopefully you're right up there with him, or at least opening for him. I know
Mhm.
you're going to be scared to death, but it's going to be like, what an opportunity. And
Oh
he's
yeah.
one of those artists. Just wow.
Yeah,
Just
I mean
wow.
that's a goal for me, and
hmm
opening up for somebody this year would be like the goal. I mean, you got to start somewhere, and right
You
now
do.
we're doing our own little shows. But once you get that song to break, whatever song it is, I don't really care what song it is
Right.
at this
Right.
point. But as long as it does, I mean, we'll open for somebody, and I think we're close. I have people hopping on the team. There's a company down here in Alabama called 65 South. They promote
Okay.
Alabama artists. So I got them helping me out a little bit, and they work with Riley Green, Trey Lewis, Muscadine Bloodline. Those are some Alabama artists.
Love those guys. Love those
But
guys.
but they work with them, and it's the same company, and we're all kind of in this together. So we'll see what
Mhm.
happens. We have momentum for
I have my
2023.
Muscadine bloodline hat on, as a matter of fact, as we talk.
Oh,
This is
Mhm.
I didn't know
Muscadine
you knew
bloodline.
those. I didn't know if you knew who those people were, but
Yeah, well,
65
Deb
South.
and I have had them on the podcast,
Mhm.
and they're coming back again in a few weeks. I haven't told Deb yet, but they're
Oh, I
going
was
to be.
gonna say that's new news to me.
Good deal. I mean, 65 South, they push them really hard and stuff like
Mhm.
that. So, and they're just a clothing brand, but they
Mhm.
got a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah.
followers, so they just push
Yep,
those
yep, yep,
artists
yep.
out, and they want to help them. And I've met the guy, and he's super pumped about what I got going on. And
Yeah, and
he's all
rightfully
in.
so. Yep, yep. You're going to be a star. Just don't put yourself down, and just keep going ahead. Don't go backwards. Just keep going ahead. Sometimes it
Oh
might
yeah,
slow down a little bit, but just keep going ahead.
Mhm.
And
for sure.
and you're so further ahead than so many right now. You've got great music. Tangled Up, I'll tell you again, it's awesome. From a radio programmer, it's like,
Mhm.
why haven't I need to do something with this. But you're going to get a lot of good stuff. You're going to get a lot of bad. I don't know, like, the good and the bad, you get all that, but always just keep thinking positive and going forward,
Right.
because you got a good team from the sounds of it. And,
Great
man,
team. Got a great team. They're always behind me about everything I got, and they let me speak on what I want and what I don't want. So I love it, and
mhm.
we got a lot of good positive momentum for 2023. A lot of years, the beginning of the years, I haven't been able to say that, but this year definitely do. This will be the best year so far for my career. So it'll be awesome.
I was going to ask you about what's coming up for 2023, and I can already tell that you are geared up and ready to go.
Yeah. So me and this producer in Nashville, he only lives like 15 minutes from me now since I moved up
Oh,
here. But we worked hard on getting three solid, really good songs together, and we needed to get them produced. And I was like, "Well, we've been looking for a producer," and I was
mhm,
kind of iffy on the producers because we haven't had luck like we
mhm.
wanted, and we absolutely killed it. He killed it. Everything was perfect to a T how I wanted it. I wanted my own sound, and that's what he did. He made something I've never heard before,
Mhm.
but it's still really, really good. And we have three songs that we're going to release like every once a month basically, and we have a big one coming out. We're going to put a video with it and push the heck out of it. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's something we haven't done yet, or in a long time, but I feel like I'm more prepared as an artist. I can perform. I've been working at all these little things, like all the little things that make the big thing happen. So it's going to
Absolutely.
be great. I'm ready for it, and I hope I'll be opening up for somebody big one day. And I know
I
it's going
think
to
so.
happen.
I
It'll
think so. It's
happen
going to happen. May not happen overnight, but it's going to happen. We know that.
for sure.
It's been awesome chatting with you. And we always love to hear from people like you, from people
Hmm.
that are just getting their feet wet, even though your feet are wet. You've already done it back in Alabama, or Bama. But you're coming out with some great music. You put the EP out or the album out. You've done all that. You know what you want. You know where you want to go, and and you have a job, which kind of makes up to help you pay the bills while you go and try to live your dream and your passion and do something with it.
Exactly.
You know,
Hmm.
so I give you a lot of credit for that. Yeah.
I
So,
appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely. Where they can go online? You have a website?
And I do have a website. It's joshkinneymusic.com.
Okay.
And then Facebook and TikTok, it'll be Josh Kinney Music. You can go follow me there. And then Instagram is different. It's Josh Kinney Official. And give me a follow there. I had to restart my Instagram because some fraud thing. So it's Josh
Oh my
Kinney
God,
Official.
it's crazy.
I don't
Doesn't that
know.
piss you off? I mean, you get a good thing going. I mean, we've had it with the Facebook and our Instagram and all these other accounts. It's like, dude, people, can you just, why?
I
Just
know.
why?
It's just humans.
Yeah,
It's
well,
just humans. What a- I like that.
I do too. I like that. Just humans.
Just humans.
Josh, it's
Well,
awesome chatting with you tonight, and you spent a little bit of time with us here. And we got started a little bit late. I apologize for that, but
big
you know
deal.
what? It's great chatting with you. I want to thank you again for joining us, and make sure that anybody that's watching this, make sure you check out Josh's website. Check him out on Instagram, and I'll post all those links under the video when I get this. It's already live, obviously, but also I will add to it online, so you all the links will be there. Give us a like and subscribe to Skip Happens on YouTube. And Deb is the president and founder of the Official Country Music Fan Club, and she'll tell you about that right now.
give us a follow at the official CMFC. We'll follow you back. And when you have things going on, you're releasing new music, we'll push that out for you. We have a great fan base, and they're always looking to get to know new artists and follow your journey as you climb that ladder of success. And we're here to support you.
Okay.
Well, guys, thank y'all for having me on. It's been awesome, and I'm glad I get to share my music with all y'all's fans and stuff.
Absolutely.
So I really appreciate that.
It's right back at you. Josh Kinney, everybody, thank you for joining us here on Skip Happens tonight. Josh, you hang on. We'll talk to you in a minute, but thank you for watching, everybody.